Welcome to 9 to 5 on the Side, the podcast for visionaries who work full-time but carry full-time dreams. I'm your host, TaKenya Jene'a, award-winning entrepreneur, creative strategist, art therapist, believer, and someone who knows what it feels like to have a calling that won't let you sleep. If you've ever sat at your desk and thought, "There's more to me than this job," then you're in the right place. This podcast is for aspiring entrepreneurs who are still working their 9 to 5. It's for the woman balancing payroll and purpose. It's for the man building a business in the margins. And it's for anyone who's tired of believing the lie that you can't serve a company and build your business at the same time. Whether you're just starting, restarting, or ready to scale, this is the space for you. So before we go any further, like and subscribe to all of our channels. Before we go on this journey together, I want you to know who's guiding you, and more importantly, why I'm committed to walking alongside of you. I'm TaKenya Jene'a, and I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, a creative strategist, an expressive arts therapist, and an author, and a vocalist, and so many other things. And we'll talk about that more. But for 2 decades, I've been working in spaces that blend creativity, healing, leadership, and purpose. I've supported individuals, schools, organizations, and professionals as they navigated growth, transitions, and the pursuit of meaningful work. As an art therapist, I've helped people uncover their gifts, strengthen their confidence, and reconnect with their identity and purpose. As a business owner, like and subscribe to all of our channels. I've built solutions, coached emerging entrepreneurs, and learned firsthand what it takes to grow something from the ground up while still working full time. I've lived this life, balancing a job, building a dream, managing responsibilities, taking care of my family, and trusting God through every stretch, every pivot, every season of expansion, and every not so great season. This mix of business strategy, creative insight, spiritual grounding, and therapeutic wisdom is what makes this space different. It's why I'm equipped to guide you. It's why I'm passionate about mentoring future entrepreneurs. And it's why this podcast exists, to help you evolve into the version of yourself your future business will require. So if you're looking for a coach, a mentor, a voice of clarity, or someone who understands both the human and the entrepreneur side of you, you're in the right place. Like and subscribe to all of our channels. Listen, I know what it feels like to sit in a job and ask yourself, is this it? Is this where I'm supposed to be? I'm grateful, but something in me is growing. I know what it feels like to work twice as hard, to carry ideas that no one else sees, to lead behind the scenes, to be the go-to person in the office and everywhere else in your life, while still wondering, but what about my dream? I've had seasons where entrepreneurship felt thrilling, exciting, and then I've had seasons where it felt like it was crushing me. And wondered if this is what I was really supposed to be doing. But I've learned from my missteps, from saying yes too fast, from trusting the wrong people, from not charging my worth, from launching too early, from doubting too long. But I've also experienced triumphs. The peace of working in purpose, the joy of serving with integrity, and the blessing of divine partnerships, and the freedom of building something God-given. So just let me be real with you for a moment. There was a season in my career where I was working in a space I knew I had been assigned there. Not because it was perfect, but because it fully aligned with my passion. I actually never work a job that's not aligned with my passion. I never do anything that's not aligned with my passion. But in this season, it was a struggle. But it was part of my development, a chapter God needed me to walk through. And even though I was showing up with excellence, creativity, compassion, and years of experience, the administration could not see me. Not really. To them, I was a position filled, a checkbox, a role that needed a body in it, a person with purpose, talent, or vision that wasn't a big deal to them. And that hurt. When you know you carry so much, when you know you're equipped, when you know God has placed something precious inside of you, something powerful inside of you, but the people around you can't see it, that was the moment, the exact moment when I realized something had to change in my life. No company will ever value all of who you are. They can appreciate you, yes, but they'll never be able to understand. They'll never be able to hold the full weight of your gift. Only God can do that. Only you can do that. And you have to steward it. So I had to adjust. I had to assert my own self-confidence. I had to remind myself of who I was outside of that building, outside of that role, outside of those limited perceptions. Because if I didn't, if I allowed the overseers, the supervisors, the decision makers, and the people who never bothered to see my depth to tell me who I was, and that wasn't happening. I would have to shrink. I'd have to doubt myself. I'd have to lose pieces of me trying to fit into places and spaces that could never hold me. So I made the decision. Their lack of vision, their lack of wisdom, as it pertains to me, will not define my identity. Their limitations will not dictate my capacity. Their oversight will not silence my gift. And that's why this podcast exists. To remind you, the listener, that you're not meant to wait for validation. You're meant to walk in purpose. This podcast will speak to all of that. The real, the raw, the reflective, and the rewarding. Like and subscribe to all of our channels. So here's what you can expect on this podcast. Real conversations about business, boundaries, purpose, personal growth. Guest experts and entrepreneurs who bring clarity, encouragement, and strategy. Lessons learned from my journey, the mistakes, the victories, the pivots, and the grace-filled moments. Faith-centered insight that keeps you grounded, focused, and spiritually aligned. Practical steps you can apply immediately, because we're not just dreaming, we're building. So every episode will leave you with a call to action, a push, a reminder, a spark for movement in the direction, the divine direction that's been placed in your hands. And if you want to go deeper, make sure you get a copy of my book, 9 to 5 on the Side, A Proven Pathway to Entrepreneurial Success. Your guide to building purpose-driven entrepreneurship while still working your job. You can also download the audiobook, perfect for multitaskers, perfect for your morning commute or your after work commute or any commute in between. Get the workbook to start activating your gifts, and join my live trainings where we take the concepts even further with hands-on, real-time guidance. All the links will be in the episode notes. And because we're a growing community, connect with me. Connect with me on Instagram at Thoughtful Endeavors, Thoughtful_Endeavors, and on LinkedIn at TaKenya Jene'a. I share resources, business insights, strategies, encouragement to help you stay consistent and confident on your journey. Now, let me leave you with this. You don't need your job to honor your calling. You just need the courage to start and the wisdom to stay committed long enough to see results. Your 9 to 5 may be your assignment for now, but your purpose is an assignment for life. So choose yourself. Believe in what God's placed in you. And take one step today that aligns with the future you're building. Welcome to 9 to 5 on the Side. Let's build purpose together. Thank you for listening to 9 to 5 on the Side. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who's building their dream right alongside their responsibilities. Don't forget to grab a copy of the book, the workbook, or the audiobook and join me for one of our live trainings where we turn ideas into action. Connect with me on Instagram at Thoughtful Endeavors and on LinkedIn under TaKenya Jene'a for daily strategies, encouragement, and purpose-driven insight. Until next time, stay grounded, stay encouraged, stay faithful to the work you're called to build, and most importantly, do it for you.